Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Elo Casting. And we're back today on the Rift. New week, new season. So let's see what the players have to say. Coming in here, we do see a rather unique pick of the Kayn top going into the Rumble there in top lane. With an Echo into Lilia, Galio into a Smolder, so a little bit of a potential bad matchup for Galio coming through here. And then very standard in bot lane, it will be Kai'Sa Braum against MF Rakan. So nothing too funky in the way of bot laners. Although, Ko might potentially look for something early here. Smolder's there moving. Kayn is also behind, and will they look for a play over the wall here? Rakan has joined in and Galio's nearby. Rumble begins to move down as well. It's only really the ADCs who haven't really been getting involved. As Kayn's going to be found out by Rumble. Smolder and the Yordle now going to be chasing over. He has to flash over the wall. Let's try and proxy this first wave though. As Misfortune catches an eye on the man, the myth, the legend, Braum. As that looks like a shirtless skin there. I don't even think that's Kebab Braum. There's already some very early trading coming into the Misfortune, knocking her to about 2/3 HP, but the W going to be used by the Rakan. Not going to be able to connect, so he will just have to step back away. As Lilia comes to find Kayn here in top. Can he get this last Q off before he gets the rest of the wave? No, it's going to be first blood over to Lilia. Caught out there. But they do have the advantage of information, so they now know Lilia did start on the top side, in fact, and she is going to be slightly delayed now. It's going to be a TP from Kayn into the red side jungle. As will he peer over the wall here to see that the red buff has not actually been taken. Instead, it's going to be a little bit of an engagement there. As meanwhile, Rakan going to knock up the Kai'Sa. There is already some action going on in the top side here as Smolder's getting involved. Echo's here as well. All flashes are being exchanged here, and it looks like Smolder might go down here. Balls to the Galio. Flash is used as there's a knock up onto the Kai'Sa. Going to be falling low. Can they get the kill? Kai'Sa will pick up the Rakan. Misfortune will be desperate to get a constellation. Yeah. It's able to get some decent damage down onto the Braum, but without any items, her damage will be lacking, and especially without any kind of crit amp, it's going to be quite challenging. Just going back to a sort of neutral state at the moment as the chaos is all ensued, so let's take a second to relax. Rakan scratches that idea, tries to go in onto the Kai'Sa. He will be popped just to give a little bit of a boost in the trading, and also a little bit of movement speed for the Braum. Bot side will have to back off now as MF does close the gap, trying to line up potentially a double tap. Galio tries to go in onto the Smolder, Taunt not going to be able to land. Now, Lilia has just cleared the bot side scuttle. So there is the potential for a dive here. Braum going to be posturing in front of the Rakan, and Echo will find Lilia just above. The knockup lands onto the Kai'Sa, and now it's going to have to be a block from the Braum. Door comes through. But Galio is here. Healthy enough to be able to try and go in here. Flash going to be used by Misfortune away from the Galio taunt. Does land onto the Rakan, and Rakan is going to fall early on. That is beats of Warfare Claim. Braum having to flash away as yet. It's low on HP. Echo now going to be the next to go low. Will get picked up by the Misfortune there, and it's 3 low members for the blue side, and it's a very healthy Lilia with a flash available. Does she try and go for a round? She does. Tries to land the bowling ball. Not going to be able to connect. She does have the flash available. Does she opt for the flash Q? Not going to be able to land that one off, as Galio also gets a chance to back. Lilia does try and potentially get a cheeky little bowling ball onto the Braum as he's backing there. Not going to be able to land it, and does tank a tower shot for her trouble as Smolder's just kind of been chilling in mid now. He's up 14 CS. Galio is spotted heading back to his lane. So far, very skirmish heavy. You don't usually see a lot of downtime this early on, especially in the higher elos, as Rumble going to be TPing in. Kane going to catch him out, bone plating will be procced, and now it is just a mix of trades as Echo's now here in mid lane onto the Smolder. Taunt is primed. It's not going to be long enough to be able to reach the little dragon. It's going to just have to be a back away as Kane. Spotted by Rumble and Lilia, heading into the topside jungle. As it is absolutely chucking it down. I've just looked to my left and oh my goodness. My. Does this spell blessing or disaster? Sunny as well. Right, Rumble now, level 6, has the equalizer up and available, so it's going to be Rakan trying to go in onto the Kai'Sa, not going to be able to land the knockup, and does tank a power shot, but the Kai'Sa does fall quite low. Smolder going to be making his way in, has got the level 6, has got Mum available to call in for support here. To the moment, just sort of respecting the space, but Braum might be in a spot of bother here. Going to be knocked up by the Rakan, going to be landing the bowling ball on, but is able to dash away back onto the Kai'Sa. Fortunately, does manage to land a double tap onto the ADC. Bullet time does come through, not able to claim any sort of kill, but ooh. That damage onto the Rakan might just make it not worth it, but Lilia is also here. But Echo comes in with the stun, throwing in. Allows Braum to maybe take a little bit more space up, but they're going to need to reset here. Kai'Sa has no mana, no HP, no level 6, no ability to sort of play safe here. Echo not going to be caught up by the knockup, and here comes the hero's entrance. 2 flashes going to be exchanged. It's Lilia and Rakan flashing away. Misfortune just throwing away all sense of danger, as she knows that one wrong move and she can potentially get a double kill here. There is no heal available for Braum, even with that unsealed spellbook. But Echo will be able to land the stun onto both. Misfortune falls low to begin with, but Rakan going to be using the knockup to stunt the Echo, but Chrono Break does come through. That's going to be a double kill. Over to Kai'Sa there. Really well played from the Echo, able to land that double stun and just get into the midst of the fight. As we're going to see Kane here engaging onto the Rumble there. With his whisk and teapot. Gonna have to back off a little bit. But if you're Rumble, you are enjoying life relatively. As Lilia will be able to claim all 3 grubs. Now it's going to be a sort of skirmish between Lilia and Kane, as it's just going to be at petty punches. Kai'Sa is now solo under this turret. Rakan knockup will not land. She does now have the killer instinct available as well, so this Misfortune and Rakan's going to have to be a little bit more committal if they want to try and get the kill here. And so far, most of the action has been occurring on this bot side. We had that extended skirmish once the level 6s came through. And then just now, double kill onto the bot lane. And no team really opting to want to take the Drakers. It has been up and alive for 5 minutes now. Glacial Fissure comes through from the Braum as the quickness is going to be used in response, and now it's going to be Misfortune falling very low. Bullet time going to be used over the ball. Killer Instinct able to shorten the distance. There's going to be a trade in onto the Smolder here. Mom going to be coming in to try and keep him alive a little bit longer, but he will fall to the alleyway, and it's going to be Lilia taken down by the Kai'Sa there. Braum did end up falling, and Kayn does as well, but Kayn crucially fell to a turret execution. Smolder not able to connect anything, be able to try and claim that kill. So in all technicality, it's a 1-for-1, a 1-for-3 even, as Rakan now knocks Echo very low and is going to be able to steal away the Drake and claim the kill. Has used the spellbook to be able to get the smite and does steal it away from Echo. That is very unfortunate, but that's why you have spellbook. Very well played by the Rakan. As Braum trying to stop Rumble's reset. We'll be able to find it as he pops the ghost to close the gap now. Stun going to be coming through as Kayn need to back up. They know the Braum isn't going to be on bot side, so now they have a free out onto the Kai'Sa here. Knock up not going to be able to land as she does flash away from it. Lilia is now here to be able to try and join in the fight as the turret is now ramped up significantly. No deaths come through. Equalizer will be using top lane as they try and get a Mimic on a dive on top side, but Rumble is just burning them alive. It's going to be 1 for Rumble, 1 for Kayn, as it looks like the bot tier 1 will be the first turret to fall this game. And there it goes. Only objective. Only feat to be claimed, sorry, is that third objective, as Smolder going to be engaged upon by Echo, by Galio. Going to be a relatively easy pickup here. No ults needed to be exchanged. Mum not called in for backup. And it's a kill over onto Echo. So you might have lost that bot tier 1, but your silver lining is your Echo's 4 kills up, your Kai'Sa's 3 kills up, and against the Misfortune, you're going to have a much better time. Because once that bullet time comes out, unless the Kai'Sa's locked down, Kai'Sa can just move out of the way. She has E, she has Killer Instinct. Can not only close the gap with her ultimate, she can also evade any kind of danger with it. There's Rumble in the midst of a minor little scuffle here in bot side. Kai'Sa getting very confident despite being on a fraction of the HP that Rumble's on now. Lilia's bowling ball going to be coming through as Echo will be hit with the Drowsy. Will be put to sleep. Will he pop the Chrono Shift immediately? Yes, he will, as he does get hit by the outer ring of that Q. Rumble does fall to the Kai'Sa, but now it's a bullet time for Misfortune. Going to be cancelled up by the Kayn, as it's going to be a pickup onto her. Now Rakan, the last one left, does manage to get stunned. Kayn picks up double kill in top side. The bot lane, they tried to do a lane swap to try and relieve a little bit of pressure. They know that the Rumble is a little bit further ahead, and now it's the exact opposite. Now you have no real lane that's behind. Kai'Sa was able to get a consolation kill onto the Rumble, but it is 2 for 1 on that bot side, but a 2 for 0 on the top side. So despite there being a 5 kill disparity, it's relatively even in gold. Only 1,000. If you saw a 5 kill difference, you'd expect it to be a little bit more one-sided, but it's blue side not able to claim any of these Drakes here, or any of the just objectives in general. Herald will be the next one spawning. That's in 2 seconds at 14 minutes. As Rakan will be looking for an engage onto the Kayn. Will he pop the W here? Has no quickness available. Just spaces away from the knock-up, and it does look like he's gone in on to the Kayn, but here comes Rumble now, chasing down the Kai'Sa. No Killer Instinct available, and he's just going to be burnt down. Cooked medium rare. It's going to be an all-in assault here. Braum going to be TPing back into the top lane as Echo having to back away after getting exhausted by Rakan. Smolder now is here. Hero's Entrance going to be used on the Braum as he goes in. Does manage to catch out the Smolder. No Braum stun on just yet. It will be delay, but it will be the kill going over to Echo as Rakan knocks up Braum and does manage to hand that kill over to the Misfortune. As Herald is now up. Lilting Lullaby comes through on the 2 to just help Lilia get away. Killer Instinct was used. And I mean, now as this red side, you want to just pick up this Herald, not for any kind of turret destruction, but just to be able to claim these empowered boots. You are ahead in the race. As Smolder going to be connected by the knock-up from Kayn as he looks to take it even further. Smolder now in a spot above her as he goes under the turret. Humble Trespass is available, but it's not going to be able to be used, and Lilia picks up the kill. It's going to be flash used by Smolder, as it looks like it's going to be the Drake picked up for this blue side. But if you look on that top side, Lilia has begun the Herald. They're aiming to try and claim these empowered boots as soon as possible so that Lilia can try and run into the late game with relative ease. And it looks like there's not going to be any intervention at all. Rumble was able to find Echo, and that's the empowered boots claimed. Herald goes down to Lilia. And this gold lead has swung. Now 1k in favour of the red side. But the extra stats that those boots will provide will sort of extend that gold lead as well. So we're looking for these 2 item power spikes. Lilia's just reached it. That's Rumble, the target of Galio. Favourable matchup for the Galio if you are intending on trying to pick into the Rumble. As Braum does get knocked up, found out by Lilia. Lilting Lullaby is available. Does he opt to use it to try and catch him out? No. The Andrew's burn will just tick down, and Braum is able to get out alive. Bullet time comes through from Misfortune to just restrict Kai'Sa a little bit more. Bowling ball does land, and it's going to be the Lilting Lullaby coming through here. Quickness is popped, and here comes the all-in. It's going to be a 3-man jump onto Kai'Sa, and that's going to be as simple as pie as she falls down. As Glacial Fissure does get used onto Lilia. Stun not going to be able to connect from the Echo, but Hero's Entrance comes in now. Going to be engaging in, is going to be Lilia locked up there by the Galio. Taunt going over the wall as Misfortune is going to be the target. Echo going to be caught up by the Equalizer, but from the Rumble over the wall. There's going to be a double kill over to the Galio as Misfortune falls. And there goes your damage. Smolder's in top side, and Rumble, he is quite strong, but can only deal damage in one sort of direction. You get on each side of him, and his power is a lot more stunted. As now we do see these second items coming about a much larger scale here. Kayn does get inhibited by Rakan. Not able to sort of claim any kind of decent lethal threshold there. As Kai'Sa is sort of teetering on danger there. Khan gets caught out by the Winter's Bite. As Braum going to see the Rakan fly over as Lilia in the chase against the Kayn here. No Lilting Lullaby just yet. Humble Trespass is up and available, but he's going to be too locked up to be able to do anything. As Kai'Sa able to pick up a kill onto the Misfortune there, as she has to try and back away now. Killer Instinct was already used, as now it's a 1v1 and it's going to be a 1v none. Rumble goes, see you later to Kai'Sa, as now 2v1 on the Braum. Glacial Fissure going to be able to buy some time. Lock it at the Ancillary as well, but Lilia already getting to a stage where she's becoming hard to beat. And Rumble did fall. So credit where it's due. Kai'Sa did, in theory, manage to sustain herself through a 2v1. But is it going to be enough to be able to try and pull this game back? Because you see this Lilia and you just think she's going to only get stronger. And then if she gets items like Void Staff, like Crypt Bloom especially, Rally is going to be picked up next. Just a nice cheap option to help her stick to the very mobile members of this blue side. Specifically that Kayn and Kai'Sa as well. Zatakan is available on bot side. Now it's a Chemtech Drake, so we'll be seeing a lot of heal and shield power and a lot of tenacity as well, so that rallies pick up from the Lilia. As we're going to see an equalizer come through. Quickness will be used in response as Lilting Lullaby catches on the 3. Hero's Entrance is going to counteract it, but Braum is going to be the first to fall. Rakan falls next as Mom comes in to provide a little bit of assistance. As Galio catches the wall there, he's going to be caught out by the Misfortune. He's going to fall. And there goes your primary force of frontliners. Now it's a 3 versus 4. And judging by health bars, you're not going to want to take this fight as Atakan will fall quite low. And it might be a Drake as well. As Lilia with the massive triple Lilting Lullaby, playing off of that Rakan's quickness engage. Galio's Hero's Entrance manages to pick up 1 kill, but all in all, it's a red side win as they take 1 step closer to the Chemtech Soul. Provides heal and shield power as well as tenacity, so the Galio taunt, the Braum stun, the Echo's W stun, and any slows that come with that are going to be a little bit nullified. But on top of that, the Riftmaker that Lilia's picked up and the Bloodthirst that Misfortune's holding on to are going to be significantly improved in terms of their combat capabilities. And then add on to that, you have the Rakan as well. Redemption in the pocket. As well as Slay for the support item. Does provide healing upon CCing any kind of enemy. Slowing or immobilizing. But that healing is also going to be improved. Any more healing and shield power that Rakan picks up is going to buff that tenfold. I mean, at this point, this is Red Team's game to lose. The Smolder will take an engage onto Galio, able to knock him down to about 2/3 as Lilia goes in on to the Echo, who's just managed to claim the scuttle. Lilting Lullaby comes through. Echo put to sleep. Betty buys, but no follow-up going to be available as it is an outnumbered fight here. Rumble is now here to make it a little bit even. Quickness comes through as he looks for the engage in the middle as the equalizer comes through, separating the team in 2. Braum Glacial Fissure going to be used over the wall as the Mum comes through and picks up a kill onto the Braum. Echo going to be using the Chrono Shift to back away as Kai'Sa in a spot of bother here, troubled by the red team. Going to be picked up by Lilia, but Smolder did have to flash away. And this is starting to look out of hand. It's a 3k gold lead. They're about 2.5 if you want to be specific. And I mean, the issue you're having at this point, if you are this blue side, is yes, you were ahead in kills early, but you couldn't convert those into consistent objective takes. Having this Kayn and top side meant that you were sort of playing without a top laner for most of the time. But Galio is primed and ready for a taunt. We'll try and find something. Winds of War does get some poke damage, but this is a burst Galio. Yes, this red side is quite squishy, but they also have a lot of sustained healing. Rumble now going to be the target of the engage from the Galio. Taunt lands through, but he is burning down. Lower and lower. Rumble will be the first to fall. Seeker's Arm Guard leads into the Hero's Entrance. Bullet time going to be used over the wall. Will Trespass used onto Lilia. It's going to be shut down onto the game. And the execution from the Smolder is what kills the Kayn there as Misfortune is picked up, but Kai'Sa and Kayn traded away. Braum falls as well. It's a triple kill for the Smolder, and now you take down one ADC. There's a second in mid lane. And quite uncharacteristic there from the Rumble and the Lilia, being caught out and not really being able to fight back. Seeker's Arm Guard now in the pocket of the Lilia, as she does go for that defensive option, looking to go for the Zhonya's Hourglass. And the shutdown did manage to go onto Kayn, but Galio now with that broken Arm Guard is somewhat stunted. Can't pick up the needlessly large rod unless he opts to sell one of his items. It would most likely be the Doran's Ring, but you want to try and hold on for that as long as possible, as selling it just removes some stats that you could potentially just wait to save. As its third items on the menu, Galio, found by Rumble. As Rakan looks to join in the fight as well. W not going to connect. Rakan has to back away. It's a Baron on top side. Kayn TP's in. Coming over the wall, not going to be able to land that knock up onto the Rakan there. Humble Trespass not up and available just yet to be able to close that distance. Equalizer is beautiful as it's ticking down damage. Galio manages to land the taunt onto the Rakan, and it's just going to be a pick onto both of them there. But meanwhile, in mid lane, Kaiser's managed to pick up a kill onto Misfortune. It's a 2 for 2 now. It's even numbers. Mum comes through, going to be stomped out by the Braum Shield, and now it's Rumble falling low. Humble Trespass going to be used, and that's going to be a pick onto the Yordle, but it's Smolder with the executes. As it will end in a 3 for 3. But Smolder still up and available. Will hop over the wall. Echo, no Chrono Shift to be able to try and survive it. And no burst available to take down the little dragon. As it becomes a 3 for 4. As now the dragon getting out of hand. In tandem with the Rakan and the Rumble, the damage spreads, making this blue side weaker and weaker. As now the next Chemtech Drake is up, and Lilia will want to take that as soon as possible, seeing as Echo and Kayn were very dead. Kayn just respawning now. Echo still 7 seconds away. And what's the answer if you're on this blue side? For me, you have to kind of look for a pick onto this Smolder here. You can't do anything while the dragon's still up and available. What you could try and do is you could try and go in around topside, pick off members one by one, similar to what Kaiser was able to do when she picked up the kill onto the Misfortune earlier. But you cannot walk in to this red team. There is an Equalizer ready and waiting. There is a Smolder ready and waiting. There is a bullet time ready for you to make any kind of error. And it seems like the fight is coming to them. Knockup not going to be able to land as the Humble Trespass comes through onto the Smolder. Echo going to be knocking him low. A Smolder Mum going to be helping him out. Heals him up a little bit as it's going to be Echo and Kayn falling first of all. Winter Spike catches out Rakan, but it's not going to be enough. Execute comes through, lilting Lullaby. And that's a double kill for Lilia. Double kill for Smolder. 4 for nothing, as now it seems like a steamroll of the base. They were never far behind in gold, and when they got ahead, they got very ahead. And the scaling of this red side comp, the Lilia, the Rumble, the Smolder, all proving too much to be able to handle, as it's just Galio alive, who will have to watch as his Nexus falls. And that will be GG.